Good afternoon, my name is BJ, I'm with Cutting Edge Glass. Today we'd like to continue our series on retrofit windows, how they're measured, how they're installed, and the value that they will add to your home. Pre-1981, most all your windows had single pane windows in them, and over the years manufacturers came out with trying to find ways to retrofit to those frames. It was so heavy, it just wasn't conducive to an efficient operational type of a window. So over the last 15 years, manufacturers have come out with what we call a truly retrofit window. And what is involved with that is, if you would imagine that this window was part of your existing structure, we take the sliding window out, take the fixed panel out, we actually measure left to right, what we call daylight measurement. We deduct anywhere from 3/8 to 1/2 an inch. We do the same thing on the height. We order a retrofit window that typically has about a 2 1/4 to 2 1/2 inch flange that sticks up from the net frame, and the purpose of that flange is to actually encompass or wrap the outside of your existing window. So when the window comes in net frame, we actually set it in the opening. You have a variety of low E coatings, Solar Band 60, Solar Band 70. By changing your windows out from single pane to double pane in a retrofit versus ripping the entire frame out of your house, having to re-stucco, repatch, repaint, etc. Hypothetically, on the average house, it could cost you between $20,000 to $25,000 to do that. In today's market, in technology, if you were to retrofit virtually that same house, you can retrofit that house for about half the price and gain more efficiency, energy efficiency, by doing so with less than half the cost. So this would actually be a retrofit window that we would bring in. It would have the flange on it. So once we set it in the opening, we set it right inside your existing frame. We would secure it with 3-inch screws into your existing frame, biting into the 2x4s. We would set foam backer rod, insulate it, and then we typically have an 1 3/4 inch, what we call a white flat trim, that goes on the opposite side on the interior of the window, and it covers your existing frame. The purpose of that is to make it look like it's all trimmed and caulked out, so when you look at it, you visually don't know that the window's been changed. There's some homeowner associations that have had some issues with this because they see this wide flange. Well, the purpose of that flange is to cover up the old frame. It gives it more of a colonial, contemporary kind of a look. Most of our window retrofits that we sell nowadays are vinyl because they're so much more energy efficient than black metal, bronze, hypothetically. Metal will absorb, it is a conductor of heat, will absorb a lot more heat where vinyl will not do so. So that's our educational series for today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to call us. Would like to add an insert to that as well. This obviously is not the correct size window for this particular opening. We're only using this for demonstration purposes only. So it gives you kind of an idea of how the corners, all 4 corners, would marry up against your existing window frame once it's properly secured, anchored, and caulked. Caulking is the most important part to installing any retrofit window, as well as making sure that it's properly leveled so that it does not put the window in any kind of a bind.